Welcome everyone to a Raw review, December the 18th, 2023, the birthdays of one Trish Stratus and one Stone Cold Steve Austin, arguably the best female and the best male of all time. Raw comes to you live again on December the 18th, 2023, so it's a holiday episode, week 5 of 9 in the long build to the Royal Rumble. I'd just like to invite anyone who isn't subscribed to hit subscribe right now. For the reviews I do old Raw and old Nitro reviews. I put them side by side for which one they went on for which night. As a tandem, I put them on, and anybody can go back and rewatch those shows either with me or they can rewatch shows at a later date, but the reviews are still there. So, I'd read doing the Monday Night Wars. So if you have not subscribed to my channel and that interests you, I'd certainly invite you to subscribe to my channel. I stick up to date with Raw and SmackDown as well, as you can see here. On to the show from Des Moines, Iowa. It's a holiday episode. The actual holiday episode will be next week, so I'm guessing that will be taped. The last two Raws, they began with the Drew McIntyre story, having matches with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso respectively in the beginning of both shows. Tonight, they start with the Judgment Day. As Balor says, tonight is just another night, while the Creeds say it's the biggest night for the world for them. And tonight, it's just business. It's just taking care of business for the Judgment Day. Ripley says the Judgment Day has ran Raw in 2023, and she says that it's going to continue to run Raw in 2024. She says that Ivy Nile, what she does to her is, if Maxine Dupree is any statement, she's going to make it even bigger statement out of Ivy Nile. That's paraphrasing, of course. R-Truth came out, and this was hilarious. He said, "Y'all left me out of the opening. I love to open up Raw." JD says, "What the hell are you doing here?" He says, "I'm in Judgment Day now, dog. That initiation beatdown made me laugh." That made me laugh. The initiation, the part that he thinks it's an initiation. That's so comical because that's what we're all thinking. How's he going to explain the beatdown then? He says it's an initiation. It's brilliant. R-Truth says he was hurt physically and emotionally. Then they do the looking for a fight line, only it's Truth this time. He says they want to squash the beef with all the right Christmas lights and everything around this Miracle on 34th Street. He says it's the right time to do a loser leaves Judgment Day match. And they all laugh because he's not in the Judgment Day. But R-Truth take on JD McDonough in a Miracle on 34th Street fight. R-Truth gets clothesline, ducks a bit, and then a nice scissors kick. McDonough slammed into the table on the outside. McDonough gets a kick to the outside. Dom sends Truth into the ring post. If the lights flicker, I'm having some power issues. Even though the laptop still works, even though the lights shut off, the laptop still works for some reason. So if the lights go off, I'm just going to continue going in the dark because you can still see my face because of this laptop screen. So I'm just going to go at it in the dark if that happens. R-Truth looking for a table as the fans chanted for it. JD McDonough kicked away at Truth. JD sucks is chanted. Dirty Dom just tripped Truth and he landed groin first on JD McDonough. That was a funny spot where he landed his head right into his groin. The Christmas puns are out in fury by both Barrett and Cole. A fire extinguisher by Truth. A table is set up with jingle bells, deck the halls, all that. By R-Truth, and then he had a neck breaker, and Truth tried a "you can't see me," but JD caught him with a heel kick. Then he caught him with the "you can't see me" to McDonough as he smacked JD McDonough with the Christmas tree. R-Truth has JD McDonough on the table, but he waits, so JD picks him up, and Truth, but they both land through the table, cross-bodied. R-Truth gets the victory, so JD McDonough has to leave. It was a comedy match, so I gave it 2 stars just because it was funny. So JD must leave. It's not really about star ratings, but it's a comedy match. So JD has to leave the group, I guess. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Later in the night, they had a segment about it. But you got to wonder if JD is right for the group because he is the newest member and he didn't exactly get the nicest welcome into the group. Katania Carter and Cross cut a promo about how it's their time tonight in the tag title match. They got a lot of promotion, so you had to figure they probably were going to win the tag team titles. Nia Jax comes to the ring, and we go to a commercial. We come back from one. Jax is announcing she wants to announce she's going to enter the Royal Rumble, but Lynch interrupts. And Lynch talks about being a moneymaker, and Jax says that the fans are scared of what would happen if they faced because she squashes everybody. Lynch says that it's not that the fans are afraid, it's that Jax is afraid. And Lynch says she wants to go on to be the greatest to ever do it. Her and Rollins have big egos, the size of Jupiter. No wonder they're together. She actually thinks, probably even including men, that she's best ever. But there's two things you can bet your life on with Becky Lynch. She's going to say the crowd and for a cheap pop, and she's going to say, I'm looking for a fight. That should be her catchphrase, because if it's not too creative for Becky Lynch. Nia Jax says this will happen at day one in her hometown of San Diego. Jax then jumped Becky, and then she turned her back to her, and then Becky got dropped with a taped fist from Jax. DIY are there to shake hands with Miz in the back. Jackie Redmond goes to interview The Miz before his big match with Gunther for the Intercontinental title. If Gunther wins, then Miz can't challenge Gunther again as IC champion. Barrett does a good job breaking this all down. Figure 4 by The Miz, and then he mocks Imperium. Gunther then fights back, mocks Miz after that. We go to commercial and we come back. Gunther's chopping Miz back and over in the corner. Miz went for the crossbody, but out of midair, Gunther held on to Miz and then tortured the backbreaker on a top turnbuckle pad. Cole says it's turning into a massacre as Miz slams Gunther hard into the ring post. A possible opening for him as we come back from a commercial. A crossface and tons of torque by Gunther with his bad hand to Miz. Miz comes out of it with a big-time DDT to Gunther to Miz. Miz with a desperation DDT. Cole builds it up like it's an Xmas miracle that's going to happen. Even still, Miz and Gunther are having a great match. Miz goes right back to the injured right-handed Gunther, a missile dropkick to the Miz, and a strong powerbomb. But Gunther counters into the Boston Crab. Miz is close to the ropes and gets there to break the hold. Gunther selling the hard chops away at him by Miz. Miz begging for more chops, and then he hits a big-time sleeper, but Miz out of nowhere, shoulder first, gets a skull-crushing finale. Gunther kicks out. That's one thing they do these days compared to old days. They do multiple kick-out finishers during TV shows. It shouldn't be happening. I don't like it, but Miz it's hard to be negative when a match is this good. Miz met Gunther in the end up top and he chopped at Miz's chest. Miz went to the injured hand and hits a skull-crushing finale off the second rope. Gunther with the in-ring awareness to roll out of the ring so Miz couldn't pin him. Such an awesome move by the ring general, playing to his name, being a general of the ring, knowing his in-ring awareness. Back in another powerbomb and a thunderous clothesline gives it away, Miz, but he still kicks out. Then another powerbomb and a bridge for Gunther, and he wins. Fantastic match. I rated it 3.5 stars, as Miz can never challenge him while he's IC champion. Gunther told Imperium he's taking a few weeks off, but he wants them to make him proud. Shinsuke has put together a Nightmare Before Christmas. Cody and Shinsuke get it on again in this slow burn feud that they've got going on. The fans chanted, let them fight, when the two interacted. Another chapter here in this feud that's going to culminate, you got to think, at the Rumble or day one, or both, or more than that. Adam Pearce apparently has been ignoring Green and Niven's calls to change their match because it's next. Bronson Reed tells Pearce they need to talk about Gunther's next challenge, either for day one or the Rumble, and it looks like it's Bronson Reed. Tatiana and Carter versus Niven and Green for the women tag titles. This is a rarity to see these tag titles get defended. Back to the break, Carter goes for a springboard leg drop and then ran into her own partner, did Green and Niven. Barrett says a window of opportunity comes there for Chelsea Green to drop Carter, and Niven comes in as the tag champs to isolate Carter. Green with a double stomp, Niven with the running senton, and broke it up, and that was a close near fall. Carter with a chance off the top, the keg stand, and then Chelsea Green moved just in time. Chance counters an unprettier attempt by Green, then Carter after the after party, and they won the tag team championship. Pretty good match, predictable outcome, but I gave it 2 stars and a quarter. Then Tozawa took on Ivar. I thought this was going to be a squash match, but Tozawa rips his shirt and went up to the barricade, or to the turnbuckle pad, and Valhalla, Ivar's woman, gets involved. Then Maxine gets involved with her. Maxine sidesteps her to the barricade, and then a senton by Ivar, but he kicked out. I thought this was going to be a basic squash match, as I said, but he definitely took it to him, did Tozawa to Ivar. A Hurricane Run off the top, a World's Strongest Slam by Ivar off the second rope. They do Punk and that's it. Ivar gets the victory. Up next, Seth Rollins and CM Punk's video package from last week. I gave the last match a star and a half. Seth Rollins is coming out now, and we're going to have that that long theme. Too many people have in their theme in the WWE. So yeah, Rollins comes out and says 2024 is going to be off the hook, better than 2023. I don't think he said off the hook. I'm just paraphrasing. But if it is, I hope we can get a new song, Seth. Please, for the love of God, get a new song. I don't see it happening anytime soon, because when something's over for someone, they like to burn it and they like to do it hard. Unless it can interfere with other people's gimmicks, like the what chant. That's why Steve Austin never does the what chant since 2002, because it will suck the life out of everyone else's promos. Steve Austin has gone with it when the crowd chant what, like he's been like 1 beer, 2 beer. Well, he'll do it like that, but that's because the crowd keeps chanting it, so he wants to give them what they want and then move on. Anyways, what am I talking about? I'm getting sidetracked by the what chants because of Seth Rollins' theme, but you guys here understand my point. Rollins talked about defending the title against Drew at day 1, and then right then, Drew McIntyre's theme hits. And he talked about doing whatever it takes to get to the title at day 1. I love how Rollins brings up Drew's hypocrisy about how his actions and his words don't line up. He's being too much of a tweener. He needs to pick a side and stay to it. Rollins says, what makes you think this time will be different? You've changed, but you still want to point the finger at someone else. You don't take responsibility for your actions. Seth is breathing fire the last 2 weeks into the mic. The only person keeping Drew away from being champion is Drew McIntyre. Good line, good promo again by Rollins. I may kind of dislike the guy in real life, but you can't take away that he's decent on the mic and he's great in the ring. In the last 2 weeks, he was straight fire on the microphone, to be honest. So they said that to Drew, and then Drew went at Rollins. They started to battle a little bit. And the referees split them up. The Creed brothers shake hands with Cody backstage as he thanked them for last week. Then the New Day start throwing out gifts. Imperium beat up Kofi dressed as Santa, so Jey Uso came to the ring. And I guess the Usos and the New Day are friends now, after feuding for the whole decade. Jey Uso takes on Kaiser from the Imperium, clothesline to the floor, but he ended up getting the win. They have a backstage segment later with JD McDonough tapping Damian Priest on the back, and Rhea Ripley just shoves McDonough on the couch. Like, you're lucky to even be here. That was good. They have a backstage segment where Rhea Ripley went on to say she's going to treat Ivy Nile that way. Creeds took on Judgment Day. Creeds got sent into the steel steps. Balor chops away at Julius Creed. He came back with chops, dropping to the mat by a cover. Finn Balor almost gets a 3. Julius Creed with a kick out and a waist lock to Priest. From outside the apron, he kicked to the outside. Brutus sent into the barricade by Priest. Can they go to a commercial with any other thing than a thrown to the outside move or to the tables? Whenever somebody gets thrown to the tables or outside the ring, we know it's a commercial. It's so contrived. It's so superficial, redundant. Any of those words can fit. This is a solid wrestling match, as you could expect from the Creeds. Every match they've been in has been great. Hot take from Julius Creed, belly suplex, and then the Brutus ball almost, but Priest intercepts. Ripley from behind drops Ivy Nile on the outside. Nile picks up Ripley with her power and drops Rhea on the apron. Brutus hits the Brutus ball, but Priest broke it up after a close near fall. He thought the Creeds would win at this point. They could win. Julius with unreal skill as he hits a somersault plancha to the outside. Then he leaps from the canvas floor, Julius does, to the top rope. And an electric chair countered into another Brutus ball. Balor gets the coup de grace to break up the pinning attempt. Priest takes advantage of all the bodies being broken everywhere, and the Judgment Day get the much-needed victory to stay on top of Raw. If they're going to be talking about how they dominate Raw, it's a good thing that they do it. I rated this match at 3 stars and a quarter. Overall, this episode, I'd give it a 5 out of 10 because it had decent women tags match. Entertaining opening segment with R-Truth, the Judgment Day. Nice storyline continuation there. Gunther and Miz was a great match. The main event was great. if they could have done more with the Punk and Rollins, it would have been better. CM Punk's absence was definitely felt. So again, I'm losing my voice here, but I invite you to follow my channel. I do History of Wrestling videos every day. I do Raw and SmackDown, and I'm doing the Monday Night Wars. So yeah, I'd appreciate it if whoever isn't subscribed, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being there and watching my reviews and all my videos I push out. All right, that's it for Raw. We'll see you when I come to report the Raw rating tomorrow night. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, everybody.